Even though celebrities are idolized by millions of people, before fame they often were just regular people trying to land a job. As Miley Cyrus was getting ready to release her back then new single Malibu, she decided to revisit her roots at Radio Disney, where she was shown her audition for Hannah Montana.
Thank you.
And well, she was also confident on her singing career from a young age.
It's going to happen.
Being Spider-Man is cool, but pretending to be Spider-Man in a room full of strangers? That might be a bit awkward. Tom Holland was joined by his co-stars to watch his audition for Spider-Man, and it's hilarious to watch.
Oh!
So, I just, wait, before we get started, hey, come on, stop. That's no starting.
No, I got it.
Oh, okay, so a constant stream of breath right to the truck.
Yeah, he's me.
No,
During a Capital FM radio show, the host had a great idea of telling Niall Horan that he will be singing, and if it was good, he should turn around. But instead, he played Niall's audition tape for X Factor.
Only turn around if you think it's worth turning around for, okay?
When you say that you love them and you really don't, everything
Turn it off!
You
want out, you?
Yep, turn that off.
A not-so-known fact is that Beyoncé actually played a role in an Austin Powers movie. And when an interviewer revealed she got a hold of the audition tape, she was mortified.
What?
Yeah.
You have the audition tape? No! Please tell me y'all aren't gonna play that.
Don't you just, yeah, baby!
I don't.
Yeah, too.
You were laughing a lot, weren't you?
Yeah. Sometimes that happens when I'm uncomfortable.
For the upcoming movie Wicked, Ariana Grande, despite being an established superstar, auditioned for a dream role. Her performance left even the director impressed, and when she got the call confirming she was selected for the role, her emotional reaction said it all.
My first audition, and I just remember being, like, buzzing.
And when she came in, she was an Ari that I'd never seen before.
We want you to be our Glinda the Good.
During an interview with Jimmy Fallon, it was revealed that Tom Hiddleston never actually auditioned to play Loki. Instead, he went through a 3-month audition process for the role of Thor. Tom was incredibly surprised when Jimmy managed to get a hold of the audition footage, showing a very different side of the actor we now know as Loki.
Audition footage of you. This has never been shown.
You chose this. For Outland!
Come on!
I think we can all agree that they cast the right actor.
Even though Lucas Cage is now a really successful actor, having done big roles in White Lotus, Roadhouse, and You, before starring in these roles he was doing an audition over Zoom, and one of the directors thought he was muted and started attacking his socioeconomic status.
These poor people live in these tiny apartments. Like, I'm looking at his, background, and he's got his TV and.
Yeah, I'm muted. I know it's a apartment. That's why give me this job so I can get a better one. All right.
And well, Lucas was understandably upset and tweeted the video, commenting that if you're going to talk behind someone's back, at least make sure your audio is muted. And perhaps one of the most unexpected reasons Chris Evans was hesitant to take on the audition process for Captain America was because he knew the fame and lifestyle change that would come from a movie that size.
So everyone was in love with the idea of Chris, except Chris.
The only reason there was hesitation to begin with was because of the commitment. It's a big movie, and those are the movies that if they succeed, there's a change, a lifestyle change.
Even Chris's reluctance to be a star spoke to how right he was for the role.
For High School Musical's 10-year anniversary, some of the cast got together to react to the original audition tapes, and one can tell there was a lot of nostalgia involved.
No.
If those science girls get Gabriella and Troy Bolton hooked up, then the academic club goes from jewel to cool.
You have been in every production, year in and year out, and
How you meet a kid? No, have you felt like that?
That was it! That was it, and you booked the job.
so you're looking at
Ryan Gosling has won a Golden Globe and had 3 Oscar nominations, but prior to all these successes, he remembers the audition process as being brutal and portrayed a very bleak picture of the entertainment industry, having to audition for roles that were likely already taken.
You're lucky to get an audition. then you get it. You get there, you walk into a room full of guys that look just like you. Then before you go in, you hear the casting director negotiating the deal for the guy that already got the part.
Yeah.
Turns out Jared Leto already got it.
Yeah.
You know? Then you go in, you think you're doing you just think, I'll do it as an acting exercise. And you get the tears going and you're emotional, and then she gets a call and asks you to leave the room. You want to start again, but she makes you pick it up where you left off. You go to your car, you got a parking ticket.
For the role in The Notebook, the producers held over 100 auditions with different actresses, including singer Britney Spears. Rachel McAdams was a last-minute audition, since she happened to be in the area filming another movie, and the producers didn't even know who she was. And she recalls making the filmmakers cry during the audition.
You know, for so many years, all I could think about was you. My long-lost love.
So we sat down and did the first scene, and Nick was like, okay, let's do the next scene. And we did the next scene, and we were all sort of crying. It was the best audition experience I've ever had. And I just walked out of that room and I was just in another world.
Back when Matthew McConaughey was just looking for a summer job before going back to school at the University of Texas, he landed a role for Dazed and Confused, which turned into a full-time career. 28 years after the release, Matthew McConaughey went back to his audition tape.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did. I keep getting older, but they say the same age.
I'm sitting there and I watch and I go, man, that was 1992. You thought you might just have a little 3-day job for a summer hobby. I still got a little summer job that turned into a career.
With Game of Thrones airing for over 8 years, the cast reaction to their younger selves in earlier episodes is hilarious.
I've never done anything like this before. Oh no!
First ever filming of anything. I've loved getting in costume, walking about with a massive cloak.
For the Star Wars The Force Awakens movie, Daisy Ridley was asked to act out one of the film's most emotional confrontations in order to test her skills, and the director J.J. Abrams said she blew his mind.
You're my guest.
When we brought her in, I asked her to do this one scene, sort of this torture scene, very sort of intense, and she just blew my mind.
Guarantee he would have disappointed you.
Get out of my head.
But well, apparently Ridley herself wasn't as impressed with her audition, because this was her reaction to finding out it was going to be released with the Blu-ray DVD version.
I didn't know that was happening, and I'm mortified. Why? Because what the performance ended up like didn't begin like that. Do you know what I mean? It's me going, oh, let's run from ship. Oh my God!
Leon the Professional was a movie about a hitman, so understandably Natalie Portman's parents did not want their young daughter to be involved in that film. But apparently after lots of convincing, Portman was able to audition for the role. This is her talking about the role and reacting to the audition years later.
I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever read. You're gonna ruin my life. And was basically just fighting with them so much.
What are you doing with a gun like that in your house?
It's mine.
Well, I didn't think it was the old dad's down the hall.
My parents were like, there is no way you're doing this movie. This is absolutely inappropriate for a child your age to be doing this film.
Easy A was a major financial success, grossing over $75 million on an $8 million budget. Emma Stone's performance received high praise, and even from her audition, it was clear she nailed the monologue flawlessly, capturing every nuance of her character.
Do enter this video blog as evidence in the case against me. And because I'm being judged by a jury of my peers, I will attempt to insert like and totally as much as possible.
But a not-so-known fact is that Jennifer Lawrence also auditioned for Easy A, and she did not get it, resulting in a hilarious moment in an interview with The Hollywood Reporter.
Auditioned for Easy A, I wanted it so bad.
Well,
really? Guess what? You didn't get it. You didn't get it because you suck.
For the Resident Evil remakes, the creators wanted to make the most realistic scenes possible, so they ended up using real actors and real things. Nicole Tompkins played Jill Valentine, and mentioned that her first audition was one of the intro scenes, where she looks in the mirror and had to adapt to the animation restrictions.
Like emotional, intense scene with no one. The director was just kind of like, yeah, go, I just want to see what you do. Doing this phone call was fun. When I first picked up, I really wanted to sit down on the bed, but anytime you add more to their animations and stuff, the team's like, no, we don't have to animate this, that. There's so many technical aspects.
Pretty Little Liars, released in 2010, remains popular to this day, and is still the most watched series on ABC Family, with a steady viewership of over 2.5 million. Shay Mitchell, who plays Emily Fields, reacted to her audition tape 7 years after the show's release, and amazingly, she still looks the same.
I can't, there's like no pauses in this, I should have taken a breath.
Ariana Grande knew from a young age she wanted to be an actress or a singer, She even said in an interview that at 5 years old she called Nickelodeon saying that she wanted to be in a show. A decade later, her dream came true as she made her debut on Nickelodeon. But Ariana's very first gig was singing the national anthem at a national hockey game. 23 years later, she revisited this moment on the Jimmy Fallon Show.
Here's Ariana Grande, 8 years old, singing the national anthem. Look at this. Is a star right there. So that little dimple is so cute.
Leonardo DiCaprio is one of the best actors in history, due to his exceptional ability to fully immerse himself in diverse and complex roles, demonstrating emotional depth and versatility. But even Leo had issues booking roles early in his career, and talked about how he overcame the grueling audition process.
Year of like rejection, where I finally said to I suppose I took a different attitude towards the audition process. Really because I said to myself, I'm not dependent on this job. This isn't going to define me, and I started to sell myself less, prepare more for the roles, really investigate the characters as much as I could.
Stranger Things is one of the most expensive shows ever produced, with Netflix spending a staggering $30 million per episode on the 4th season. Starting with a budget of $6 million per episode for Season 1, the producers were determined to find the best talent, scouting hundreds of theater schools. They were especially impressed by Millie Bobby Brown, who despite being British, performed even the initial screening calls in an American accent, knowing they needed an American. Last year for a reunion, some of the cast reunited to watch their initial auditions.
10 years old. My name is Millie Brown. I'm 11 years old. I'm Finn Wolfhard. I'm sick. I'm late.
Oh my God.
I'm 4.
Look how depressed I look.
You look like Susan Sarandon.
Listen.
This is probably the most serious, most important thing ever.
Oh my God.
Okay, maybe there's no reaction here, but an incredible display of talent happened at the Manhattan Theater Club when they decided to put a then unknown student, Timothy Chalamet, in their play, and he ended up making seasoned professionals look like amateurs.
I'm gonna find my place in this world, count on it. This school's been a miracle for me, but not because of you, because somebody, Mr. Hoffman, finally saw me!
Martin Scorsese is perhaps one of the best-known filmmakers, and has produced some of the highest-rated movies of all time, such as Goodfellas, The Departed, and The Irishman. So when Margot Robbie, who was an unknown actress at the time, was told that Martin Scorsese saw her audition, she couldn't believe it.
They said Marty. They're like, Marty wants to see you. And I was like, who is Marty? They're like, Martin Scorsese. And I was like, how does he know who I am? They're like, he watched your tape. And I was like, Martin Scorsese watched my audition tape?
When Anne Hathaway went to audition to play Catwoman for Dark Knight Rises, apparently it was not clear what role Christopher Nolan wanted her to play, so she thought it was for Harley Quinn. And well, Hathaway had to change her character mid-audition.
Wore these like flat kind of jokery looking shoes. And I was just kind of trying to give Chris like these crazy little smiles. And then about an hour into the meeting, he goes, well, I'm sure I don't have to tell you this, but it's Catwoman. And I was like, shifting into a different gear right now? Okay.
Despite Netflix having virtually unlimited money, they often opt to hire unknown actors, which has led to launching several careers. The One Piece live-action adaptation became the most in-demand show of 2023. Thanks to its following the source material and the casting of actors who genuinely enjoy the original manga series. Following the success of the show, the cast reunited to watch their audition tapes, reminiscing on how far they've come.
How the hell did they arrest you?
They didn't. I gave myself up.
I think you have a little chocolate underneath your lip.
A little chocolate?
Thousands of varieties of seaweed, spices in every color.
Oh, they already booked you at this point.
I know.
Want to know what I think?
Almost never.
You've been acting weird since that battle, and I think I know why.
And Jacob Romero wins for the most attention-grabbing way of kicking off the audition.
My name is Jacob Romero Gibson.